versus Froyo on Gullywash. I'm Delta Market. Joining me is TC Mono. How are we doing? How's the game?
Going fantastic, and we are right here in on another mid immediately. Both soldiers going in for a high bomb. Caddy going huge, getting onto Speedy's side already, and froyotech just cleaning house. It's just going to be Hubba. Can they keep him alive? They get the soldier. It's Donovan going in for late. Zam not able to make it work. Banny and Hubba, the two lone survivors for froyotech. That's going to be a first mid win for Froyo, and a good opening start to this game for them.
Yeah, Donovan almost gave me a heart attack there. I was thinking that was going to be a pretty clean win for Froyo, but that soldier almost getting Hubba at the end. It was all for naught though. Banny and Froyo full Uber advantage. Probably going to be breaking down this big door judging by their positioning. And it looks like the side of QMD is holding up in River. One player down on the floor, but I don't think QMD is going to put up much of a resistance here. Kind of looks like they're just letting Froyo walk on in for free.
Yeah, froyotech just getting all this space for free, and QMD having to back out completely. Luckily for them, they have kind of bought themselves enough time that they might be able to get Uber, but froyotech, they're going in. They do have a soldier making their way over into water, just lurking beneath the point. They got the pyro up, just reflecting those rockets, being a little bit of pain, as now they get onto the point. They force QMD over. Now they're going to try and do the pressure cooker, get as much captain as they can. They get one on the Yum Yum side, falls as well. Laz also going to go down. It's going to be even players for the moment, but looking a lot better for froyotech. They have a demo. QMD don't. They force out the Uber. froyotech coming with theirs a little bit later. They're just trying to flash around as much as they possibly can over on QMD. You see a scout trying to make a play, but they get onto the point, and that's going to be it for Froyo. They win the first round 1-0.
Yeah, that was so smart by, I think that was Brand Slam. During that Uber, Brand Slam said, water's open, river's open, I'm just gonna run onto that point. That fight on last looked so even, but that one decision by Brand Slam, I have to say, kind of cinched it for them, I think.
I 100% agree, Brand Slam, with that heads-up play, just recognizing the point was open. And you know how you win rounds is by capturing that point. So we have to see if maybe QMD are going to be able to just go in onto another mid. Once again, the soldiers from froyotech going in very deep, but this time Sam is going to counterbomb Patty. Laz falling onto the floor, gets onto Sam, so cleans him up. It's going to be a little bit better for froyotech, but Gunkin is going to go down. Froyo trying to stay in here, but soldiers flying all around. Chaos. Brand Slam going to be able to take down Donovan. It is going to be QMD with the high ground, and that is going to be a soldier stuffed immediately by Yum Yum. Laz not having any success there, and that is going to be QMD winning the mid.
Yeah, for those of you thinking this was going to be an easy Froyo 5-0, I have news for you. QMD won the mid convincingly. They have huge player ad here. I think they're probably going to try to just go in through choke, or at least do something off of this last frag and that other player rolling out. Here they are, QMD jumping in. I believe that's Zam in first, but look at that, Patty just jumping into choke, takes down two with the help of Banny. Habib air shot, mini air shot onto Zam there, but look at this, the soldier's still in on the medic. That's a force. Donovan got that force at the end there.
Yeah, really great cleanup from Donovan, just salvaging that for his team, because otherwise, like you said, that was looking so good for froyotech. They just mulched them all in that very tiny choke point that Gullywash is littered with. Now, it is going to be Uber advantage for QMD. They're probably going to wait for Donovan before they try and go in onto him. They've got very big Uber advantage, so the question is, are they going to be able to get in for free? And if they do have to use, are they going to be able to clean up anyone on froyotech?
Yeah, that is the question, but they insta-pop. Look at this, Sai is so deep. He's on this little rim on the side of point, and I think Froyo has to just respect it. Laz tried to flank, but I mean, there's two people there. What are you going to do? Just gets taken down, and with this, I think QMD's happy. They got in without losing anyone. They're going to deny the Laz respawn, so they're going to be able to wait for the Uber, or maybe try something aggressive into this choke. Looks like QMD is a little content just waiting. Probably don't want to do anything crazy on Gullywash. You know, you get stuck in that choke against Ad. Not going to end well for you, unfortunately. We see Froyo is going big door, and there's a scout hiding. Yum Yum gets spotted instantly. Goodbye, Yum Yum, unfortunately for you. Froyo and Banny were aware of that play. We do see Patty just going through drop down, but the Uber actually gets forced, and there are actually so many people. It's so surprising. I don't know how Laz caught all those people. Habib bombing into choke. Looks like the scout's getting caught in big door too. Gungan goes down. I don't know how this Uber went so disastrously, but now Speedy just barely making it out.
Yeah, it is not looking good. Speedy is going to be able to get a kill for his troubles, but Donovan, I think, was over in the backline. There's a soldier lurking behind for QMD, just being a little bit of a nuisance right now as froyotech trying to push in. Habib might get caught over in lobby, should be able to get out. Zam dying over towards the shutter door side, takes down Benny, and they're just bombing in, just mulching on top of them. They're going in so deep, oh my god! They just collapse on everyone on froyotech over in big door. The aggression from QMD putting froyotech right back into the spawn room, and now they find one over in the little banana area. Patty is going to go down without getting anything. Speedy, 100% Uber, looking really good for QMD.
Yeah, it's looking absolutely amazing for QMD. Like you said, they found those hiders. They found the Froyo aggression, which is always so vaunted. It's always spoken of as stuff of legends. But right there, QMD just stuffing it back in Froyo's face. What is your aggression going to do? And they're just walking in through choke, well, actually popping in through choke. Are they going to find Laz? Are they going to find anyone on this Uber? It looks like no. Pretty straightforward Uber for them. But you know, we kind of saw a couple leapfrogs, and now it's at the point where I don't know if Froyo is going to be able to push back out with their ad. It's like 40-30 ad. Froyo definitely seems geared up to try to do this, but they do have Banny on Sniper, so maybe we'll see a headshot happen here.
Yeah, Banny is already popped off on Sniper this land, getting a nice drop onto a medic previously. So he gets a body shot over onto the demo. Nothing much. That's not going to be enough for froyotech to push out. They're trying to take a bit of space. Their soldiers just jumping around, making a little bit of it. Now we hear, oh my god, Donovan onto Hubada. That's going to be a drop right there. And now froyotech, they're in a very, very dire position for trying to escape out through river. They're all so weak. Can they all escape over to last? No, Patty is going to go down. Fran Slam on 3 hit points. Does get a little bit of a pack. Penny trying to hit some headshots to slow the roll of QMD. Is going to do it a little bit, but they still have very big Uber advantage to work in onto last.
Yeah, it is absolutely massive Uber ad and a little bit of a player frag, it looks like here. I kind of want to see what side of the map they go through, maybe going through Launchpad, maybe going through main, maybe the players on QMD don't even know themselves. Either way, I'm sure they're going to pick an exciting door. Shutter this time, running straight through. They found that soldier hiding in the corner, but it's actually Froyo just pushing in river. Unexpectedly, they found the entire soldiers combo of the side of QMD. QMD doesn't care. They don't care that their soldiers are down. They're just going to walk on point. Look at that cap time. It's so close. But QMD, they did sell out for that. Kind of, at least Speedy's kind of trying to run away. Might actually make it out. That's one saving grace there.
Ooh. Speedy going down, drop down just to delay a little bit, and that chasing scout is not able to find him, unfortunately. So kind of a heads-up play from Speedy. We didn't have a lot of chance to talk about these teams, but everyone knows froyotech. QMD filled with a lot of former froyotech players, but Donovan, one of them, tries to go in. He does get the force on his former teammates, and froyotech are going to have to use to get the point. Not going to be too bad for them because they are going to be able to do something here before QMD have their own Uber. They're making their way in. They get lobby control basically for free here, and now they might be able to set something up. But QMD just wrapping over to choke. A big bomb coming in from Patty. Brandslave following up, just mulching onto QMD. They do get a few of their people through the choke onto mid, so they are split. They got a soldier over in river going in for the bomb, doing a lot of D. Gets on the hop of the Donovan. Once again, the Froyotech member coming up huge. And is it going to be enough? Habib just dancing on the point. It's chaos right now, Delta.
It's absolute chaos. Like you said, mini air shot right there. You can put that one in the frag fit. That soldier, so good. I can't believe that got hit. Without that, think about what we'd be looking at here. It would be like full ad for Froyo. We'd see them just barreling into last. It'd be 2-0 in 5 seconds, but no. Air shot, frag fit coming in. And now it's even Ubers, well, close to even. I don't think QMD is going to push with a heavy or with an engineer up and slight ad on Gully. Either way, looks like Froyo wants to keep up the pace. They're already in river with their combo. It looks like a soldier's going into the water side already, probably going to try to go on the point. It looks like we do see Zam standing on the rim, trying to deny that already. Very proactive play by the side of QMD, not letting Froyo put up the pressure cooker without some sort of response. It looks like this soldier in water has been having a tough time, but Froyo, they're still trying. Now there's 2 people in water. If one's not enough, maybe they just need more. And actually, they're starting to finally get on the points, and I'm kind of worried for QMD because they do go down 2 off these players that bomb through river, and they get forced too. Fanny somehow just turned up the pressure cooker there. Oh, drop!
Oh my god. Oh my god, another drop. Donovan once again, and he's just able to get onto Hubada. Not quite a drop because apparently Hubada died with 98%, so not much Hubada himself could do in that specific moment, but that is on froyotech for just not having all of those angles locked and loaded, and because of it, QMD being able to push out of last, making their way onto second. There's no demo just quite yet. Habib only now spawned and is only going to start laying down some traps. They do trade Donovan for Patty, so some roamer on roamer violence. Yum Yum getting launched up into the sky, and this push for QMD is not going well.
Yeah, but there's a soldier, I thought he might bomb onto the high ground, but it looks like he decided he did not want any of that smoke, so he just backed all the way up. QMD on the back foot after that really good last defense, and actually speeding down to like 20 health. I'm kind of worried for QMD. It looks like they started to fight in the low ground instead of the high ground, and Gungan going down, former Froyo member, has to run all the way back to last with everyone. It's even Ubers, but Froyo, they have to spell blood in the water. They get to try that last hold break again, and this time without 2 scouts. Here's Soldier just bombing straight in, getting some damage onto Speedy, but not so much more. It looks like QMD actually did a really good job holding this despite being down 5v6, and now it's QMD's turn to try to make the magic happen.
Yeah, they're trying to, and that is going to be Patty shutting that down, getting some nice rockets onto Yum Yum. Is going to close off any more forms of aggression for QMD. Now they're just going to lock in onto their last, get all the nice off classes and defenses up. You see Gungan up on the sniper. He gets one headshot on the Habib. I was looking at Donovan also over on Spy. Not sure where he is on the map just quite now, but it's going to be Gungan over with it, just looking down river. Yum Yum is going to go down. A trade happens over in river. It's looking a lot better for froyotech. It's looking really good for froyotech. Oh no, Speedy's getting caught over in lockers. He does find a headshot onto Banny. That's going to be Gungan, but it's not going to be enough. froyotech, they just walk in, and that is going to be the second round for them.
Yeah, it's the second round. Very hard fought by QMD. They did not get steamrolled there. They almost broke out of that situation. Although it's kind of unfortunate because QMD, they did end up winning the mid, I believe. So not able to convert that round is unfortunate for them. I kind of want to see QMD figure out how to be a little more aggressive off their ads. It seemed like every time Froyo has a frag, they're just breaking down, knocking on the doors, getting in. But QMD, they seem to be struggling with that a bit.
Yeah, they do seem to be struggling. Let's see how this mid goes for QMD. Last one was pretty good for them. They were able to win it against froyotech's aggression and just kind of counter-jumping their soldiers. This time we are going to see Laz immediately get in onto Speedy. So really great opening for froyotech. They do lose their demo in Habib. So if QMD are feeling confident enough, they might be able to force froyotech out with just a threat of losing their medic, but they're all so weak on hit points. Sai, very weak over on the low ground. They're doing best to just corral froyotech out of mid. Doing good and lift a pick on the Hubada from Donovan once again. It's a long-range spam rocket, but any rocket can kill. And Donovan again securing some type of victory, some type of momentum for his team.
Yeah, we do see Brandslam making some funny plays happen in the other team's last, but I'm not sure how much that matters because Banny went down on the other side of the map. Brandslam behind, I mean, what are you going to do? Just two-shot the med when he's surrounded by everyone? I don't think anyone can pull that one off. However, QMD, this is really their chance to take the second point and force the other team to be all the way back. It looks like we have high bombs coming in, trying to stuff this push, and it's going to be 3 down for Froyo. They tried to be so aggressive. They tried to stop this push through second, but instead Froyo gets turned on their heads, frankly. Look at this in river. I think that's Banny trying to make something happen, somehow surviving there. I don't know how that's even allowed, but we do see QMD in already with their ad. They're popping it straight away. Habib down.
Oh my
air
God.
shot. Yeah, air shot on that lock and load. Hubada down. I'm not sure there's anything to say. That's just a free round.
That is just a free round for QMD. We say free, but they did a lot of good work to make it free. And here we have the TAC pause. We can have it confirmed. It is TAC, and they, as part of this LAN, TAC pauses only last 60 seconds. So we've got that going. So froyotech won't have infinite time to talk things over. They have enough time to, you know, try and figure out what's been going wrong, everything like that. But I mean to say, they have been looking good for the majority of this. You know, it's not like their own 3 froyotech. It's just a 2-1. But, you know, I think they're just so worried about anything going wrong. If they see any mistake, they're just going to be on the phone and be like, all right, shut it down.
Yeah, I agree with that. There's no reason to take a risk at this point for Froyo. They're up 2-1. It's like, just don't let whatever QMDs managed to work up, whatever worked on that mid, shut that down now. Don't let it go any further is probably what's on Banny's mind.
Yeah, definitely. And sometimes, even if you don't talk about anything or really are able to get something good going with that tack pause, at the bare minimum, it can slow down momentum, which TF2 can be a game of. You know, and so if they're able to do that to QMD, just kind of slow their roll a little bit, you know, get that mumble atmosphere a little bit lowered, then that could be enough for froyotech.
Yeah, could be enough for froyotech. Some light banter in chat, but we do see Froyo. Are they going to try a different mid? It looks like they're sending it straight in to the other team's side. Both Froyo soldiers are so aggressive here. It's absolutely insane, and they submarine mid, but Habada goes down. Although it's like trading every frag. Everyone for Froyo is in this big door chasing it down. Sai gets absolutely put in the dirt there, and I don't know how Froyo does it. I don't know how they can just hold W under the point, over the point, and just come out ahead, but hey, that's the tack pause, isn't it?
That is the tack pause. They clearly thought of some type of mid strategy to kind of dominantly win the mid, and they kind of did, but they lost their medic. Speedy, recognizing the situation, was able to get out. Now QMD have the opportunity to push out on the second with this uber advantage. They don't have just quite yet, so if they make a wrong mistake, they could lose their medic and their advantage. The froyotech do manage to capture up second. There is a soldier going for the back out. He gets onto the point, doesn't have the pain train, but does bring some people back to fight him. Patty with that heads-up play, maybe trying to buy his team a little bit more time, and it's not going to be enough to deny QMD the opportunity of getting onto second. froyotech lost too many for that, but it does give Habada time to build Uber.
Yeah, I respect that play a lot, but it's just a couple seconds too short, like you said. And with that, I think we're going to see QMD trying to do something. Maybe they're going to try to just go in through the choke off their ad. Maybe not. It looks like they have players kind of on both sides of the map. Kind of, maybe they lost track of the ad. QMD had like 40 ad there. I thought they were going to go, but they just let it equalize. Maybe they're confident in their defense. Maybe they know something we don't. Either way, it's Froyo's court now. Froyo has the ball. They're going to be going towards the big door side. I'm kind of expecting to see them go behind. We've been seeing Froyo really take control of this baby door lower lobby area of things. That's kind of been the staple play. Maybe they'll show it again. Looks like they're taking it real slow and methodically, and actually they're working something in through the choke side. It looks like Patty and Brand Slam got in, but they didn't get anything else. They just kind of went down.
Yeah, they did go down, trying to go for a two-man there, not making anything work. Now we have a scout from QMD trying to get in behind. Now in a 1v1 over on lower. Yum Yum's going to win that against Ban. He stays alive, and Donovan takes down Laz. This is just opened up completely for QMD. It's only Habib. Now it's only Habada. He's got 100%, but he's lost everyone in the process. They are going to have to give up mid. You can already see one of the QMD soldiers spamming from choke, and they're pushing through big door. Sai, he takes down Brand Slam, and they're just on a roll. froyotech, they're going to get spawners, so this is 100% holdable as long as they get in their proper defensive positions. And seems like froyotech has. There is a scout coming in through bats, just launching in, trying to get a lot of damage on the Habada Sam. Not going to make anything work. Donovan going in is going to be able to get it. Nice rocket, or sorry, pipe coming in from Habib to take down. They do lose 3 for Delta, but they get the force.
They get the force, but losing 3 for the force, that's kind of the Froyo classic. Let's see if it holds up on this 2025 Denver land. Banny, Sai has his number with that lock and load. Froyo, their coveted 3-man or 4-man sack for the force. It did not pay off here. It did not pay off in 2025.
No, it did not, and that's going to be really great stuff from froyotech, managing to get out. They've nullified all of that great ground that QMD have taken, and they are back on their second. They still have a lot of ground to cover if they want to win this round, but they're in a lot better position than they were just a few moments ago. Now, it is going to be on QMD to try and start something here, and it seems like the answer to that idea is going to be Gungan up on Sniper.
Yeah, it is going to be Gungan on Sniper, who is scoped up somewhere on the map. There he is. He's in big door, looking at the soul demo, almost taking that headshot, not quite finding it, though. I really want to see Gungan just absolutely step up. I think I remember seeing some Gungan games back when he was on Froyo, and he would go Sniper, and he was a absolute menace on this class. Froyo, of course, they have to know this. They played with him before. So it looks like Froyo wants to do the classic, have your demo hold big door around the corner so it's really hard to headshot him. And so the onus is kind of going to be on the side of QMD. They have to make something happen. They could send someone behind. They could do what they're doing with the soldier being up close to make some space. But either way, you can't just sit here and expect the sniper to do everything. And it looks like the space that's being made kind of allowed the Gungan to walk close to baby door, but they got punished. Donovan's going down, Zam's going down. I don't know how that happened, but Froyo, they turned this one around completely.
Yeah, they did. Patty was just lurking over in wood and had a really great play. And now here comes the Uber from froyotech. I think they got forced there from side, just maybe a little bit of damage. Maybe they thought QMD was closer than they really were, but Speedy has gotten out scot-free. He sped out of there, and now he's going to have his own Uber charge to try and retake middle. So a little bit of a leapfrog situation. In the meantime, we do have a scout hiding in the bush. I think it is Brand Slam just trying to be a little bit of a nuisance, but QMD, they're taking their time here. Now they have the Uber coming in through choke. They should be able to get one soldier. Laz is going to go down. Seems like a Brand Slam and the other soldier, Patty, tried to go for a wraparound play. Not going to be able to make anything work there. We lose 3 on froyotech. They find 1 in Donovan, but if you are QMD, you're going to take that every day of the week.
Yeah, Froyo, they're trying these plays, and I'm sure they're good plays, but they're aggressive, and they are not working. QMD, it seems like they just feel like Froyo's doing some fancy stuff, and they're really shoving it back in their face with this. They're going to be able to try to take the second point, but look at the Ubers. It's a little dangerous here with the Uber situation. Zam goes down. Froyo finally has their Uber, so QMD, now they might end up losing this point even without forcing the Uber. Actually, Froyo just pops instantly, sending it in. They take down Sai, but Sai took Habib down too, so that's a demo trade. Even though Froyo had the Uber, Banny's just sending it into second. There's back caps, there's chaos everywhere. It looks like the back cap needs to be respected. Froyo's going back for it, and there's chaos on mid still happening. Donovan does get taken down, Youngman gets taken down, but it looks like Speedy committed so hard off that back cap that they end up getting forced. Laz goes down. I think that these players are going to try to catch the medic, but they're not able to. So the side of QMD looks like they overheated here and are going to end up wiping.
Yeah, they did. Sai is a little bit too late to the party. He's going to find 1 in Patty. He's over in drop down, hitting some nice pipes, but it's not going to be enough to stay alive. And we have a sniper and a spy out on the field. Yum Yum on sniper, Donovan on spy. And if you've ever seen Donovan before, you know he is a master of this class. His game sense, his timing are impeccable for it. And he's just going to be lurking around over on that little bit of high ground. Just try and wait, see if you can get, any pick would be good here for QMD because they just want to delay, make sure they're able to have Speedy get up to 100% before froyotech start knocking on their last. And froyotech, they're actually taking their time. They're going to be going through big door, so not really where Donovan is posted up for the meantime. That doesn't mean he can't maybe get a backstab onto a nice soldier, but no, it's going to be jumping away. froyotech taking a lot of ground. Habib, nice stickies onto Zam. They might find another onto Sai. He gets the bottle kill and the taunt, and that is not how QMD wanted this to go.
Yeah, it's not. We see Donovan. Donovan has fallen, arms crossed, T-pose down on the ground. Not what QMD wanted. That was such a heartbreaker round for QMD. They had Froyo on the back foot. They did everything right, but then one mistake just gets absolutely snowballed. Unfortunate for them. So now it's down 3-1. QMD, they gotta figure out how to stop these mids from turning into Froyo wipeouts. Maybe they can get one of these soldiers on the aggression. Maybe they can play on the ground as well. Either way, who is the person to watch?
I'll have to see. The soldiers have been doing a lot of initiating, but this time seems like there's a scout running in. Yum Yum just tried to go all in for Habib. Not going to be able to make it work, and Donovan craters to his death. It seems like this is a 1 froyotech mid as another scout just rushes in onto Hubba Gungan. Tries to make it work and was able to get a little bit of damage, but not enough to get the kill. So froyotech, they win mid, they keep their medic alive, they're in a very good position to take 2. There's no one really on QMD trying to defend it. Just a few people lurking, getting a little bit of intelligence. We do have a sniper on the field, but I don't think they're going to be there in time to stop froyotech from capping up second.
Yeah, they're definitely not going to be able to do anything about that second point. However, Speedy does actually retain the Uber advantage, which is pretty surprising. So, or not Uber advantage, even Ubers. So Froyo's not just going to have a chance to take everything down. It's going to have to be some sort of pressure cooker, some sort of situation to break everything. And again, it looks like it's Laz in water is the play. There's a soldier duel happening down in this water door. Who's going to win it? It's going to be a trade, and it was actually Patty, not Laz. My bad on that one. Sai, though, takes down Brandslam with the lock and load. We got the Highlander set up here for the QMD squad, and it's working out well.
It is working out really well. The thing for QMD is that they have to start thinking about time here because we're in the group stages. It's a 30-minute time limit. Once we get into the playoffs, it will be continuous overtime, so they will have infinite time to play with. But at the moment, you know, there's a not too much time left, so they have to start thinking about, you know, trying to push froyotech back, get this round, and then do some type of mid to last, and that's only to tie it up.
Yeah, that is only to tie it up. We have not seen a tie game on the cast yet. This would be a really exciting one. And actually, something I just noticed is Donovan is on the battalion's backup here. Interesting little loadout choice. Maybe we'll see the banner come out. Maybe we will. I would love to see that. But for now, Froyo taking their sweet time. Maybe Froyo's intentionally doing this given the time situation. You know, there's nothing to rush for them. They're just taking it slow and methodically. And they're actually going to start by taking the gun down and getting a soldier onto the point who kind of half-capped it there. And now they're sending another soldier in, but they're in the Pyro's face. But Scout just got in through Shutter. I don't know how that's possible. Scout missed like 3. Brandslam missed 3 scattergun shots there. And Speedy held that Uber down. I don't even know how that's possible. But now Froyo, they got to run before they get cut off.
Yeah, they should be able to get out of there, and this is going to be great for QMD. They're managing to get out of their last. Hopefully, Habib doing a really great job just kind of locking it down. So much spam, but with that kick onto Patty. Seems like you just want to check the trade on froyotech. It's going to be an Uber exchange over in Big Door. They're just trying to muscle their way in on the second, get as much space as possible. Banny, so we're going to be taken down as soon as the Uber is over. Laz also falling as well. Hubba just barely being able to get out scot-free from that exchange. But this is a blessing for QMD. Now they're going to have a lot of momentum. Mid is going to be free for them as well. They might be able to get a couple picks here as well. Brandslam just overstayed his welcome just a little bit, maybe getting baited a little bit by his team. He thought they were trying to fight that, but QMD, they have to push this advantage if they want to try and win this game.
That is exactly what they have to do, and it looks like it's going to start by Big Door. QMD is on that side of the map. They kind of have a free, maybe not free, Habib's there now. It's stickied up, so QMD can't do anything. There is a scout behind. I think Froyo knows, but this scout in River is going to have a chance to do some things. Gungan, unfortunately, tried to go through Big Door and ended up going down as a soldier bombed in, taking down Habib, but unfortunately, QMD did lose 3 on that, and Froyo's just sending it in to mid already here. I think Froyo is going to be quite happy with this, considering they can just lock down mid and be basically in even Ubers.
Yep, going to be basically even Ubers. We do have the battalions, though. It has been called out, and they're going to be going straight to the choke. They have used it, and they're going to be trying to use that extra offensive buff to help get them in, doing a lot of damage over on Soldier over in the corner. But they're not getting any kills. Now they use the Uber a little bit later. It's going to be an Uber exchange. froyotech has theirs as well. Donovan going down, trades out with Brandslam. Yum finding one onto a beat. It's going to be good. froyotech, they're a little bit weak here. Banny is going to fall, and Hubba and Patty, the last 2 alive, not going to be able to get out of this alive. Patty just over on the point, not going to be able to get up onto Gungan as a Hubba just trying to desperately run for his life. The fact that he got out there is insane. I say that, he immediately dies.
Yeah, I mean, even with wall hacks, we didn't notice the route Yum took, so how could Hubba just... Amazing job there. Yum taking Hubba down. That's going to be full ad now for QMD. Not only full ad, I think this is second ad too. They're just in second. Froyo wants nothing to do. They want nothing to do at this point. When you look at the time situation, there's only 2 minutes left, so that's probably why. QMD, they need to get Uber, get this round, and then destroy them on mid to tie this game. Let's see if they can do it. I'm hoping they just run down river and then like send something through water, but you know, there's the Highlander setup here for Froyo.
Yep, they got the Pyro because there's not enough time to really build a sentry gun. I say that. Actually, no, there was enough time because they got a level 2. That's going to be more than enough to at least be a little bit of a nuisance. The Pyro doing a really great job just trying to air blast everyone back, but they do get in. They find Hubba. That's going to be no heals for froyotech. Banny going to go down as well. These soldiers so weak from just bombing. And now QMD going to be able to stand on top of the point. The last one is Brandslam. They get on top of it. A minute 50 left for QMD. This is 100% doable. They're probably not going to be able to win it, but they can tie this game. And a tie here would be really, really good going into the playoffs, which is all this group stuff is going to be determining.
Yeah, these rounds matter for seeding, so don't think that these games don't matter just because it's not a BO3. And like TC said, that was crazy, just 2.5 minutes left. How can you win down 2 rounds or tie when it's 2.5 minutes left? But QMD, they're making it possible here, sending people across the point, sending bombers all the way across the map is both sides of the team. Submarine mid for QMD, and it looks like QMD lost a lot of their players. Speedy goes down to Habib.
Habib.
Habib feasting.
Habib was beasting that entire mid. Habib was also beasting. He had a nice little arrow kill, and I mean, to be fair, we have a little bit maybe a attack pause coming out from QMD. You know, there's let me just go over and check. There's I don't know, 58 seconds left in the match before it's over. So, you know, they're just trying to take all this time to really analyze what they could possibly do here to get around. And unfortunately, Delta Market, it doesn't look like there's a lot.
I think their best chance is by tilting Froyo and tilting them out of the tournament, or tilting them into DQ. So maybe that's the plan here. That's it is an effective strategy though, but I don't think it's going to work against Banny.
No, probably not. And with even if you do manage to tilt them, there's only 58 seconds left. I don't think froyotech would mess this one up, even if they were hypothetically tilted. So, as it stands, we only got a couple seconds before the game resumes, as it does now. And let's see what QMD have done. It seems like they've gone for the double spy. You don't see that one too often.
Yeah, you don't see it. There's just you know, there's a Dead Ringer spy out. This is just a bit of garbage time. Maybe we'll get a funny moment. That's what we're all hoping for here. Maybe there'll be a Pyro Reflect. I'm hoping for the Pyro Reflect air shot. I feel like that would be probably the best content. We did get the Force out, and there's still chance for the Pyro Reflect air shot. We actually
oh my god,
Pyro Reflect the medic around the map. Just getting pad your stats, a clock. Froyo definitely going to be cinching this one with that cap.
And froyotech make it 4-2. And that is going to be a pretty good win for them. But still, for QMD Gaming, they put up a really admirable fight, all things considered. I mean, sure, they weren't able to win it, and they did definitely have the opportunity to walk away as the victors, but still, 4-2 against froyotech is pretty good.
Yeah, like you said, do you think this possibly has any meaning for the broader implications here? Because we've seen Froyo, they did lose against Witness Gaming AU, and now they didn't lose this game, but people definitely expected it to be kind of Froyo favored for sure, and they were struggling here.
Yeah, they were definitely struggling. I mean, you know, the first round was kind of just froyotech all the way through, and then after that, you know, QMD started to come into their own. They started by winning that first mid. They weren't able to convert off of it, and then they were able to get back in that third round and get that first one for themselves. And they just started slowly picking up steam. And kind of one of the things that we've seen is froyotech kind of playing not necessarily on their game. They have a few flaws in their armor. This is not the froyotech that we kind of saw at the end of the RGL season that beat that beat Leica G6 in grand finals. It seems like they're kind of reset a little bit, which, you know, if there's a time to reset, it's now. This is just group stages. Even if they lose all these games, they're still going to be able to come in and have an equal shot at making grand finals. But it's definitely something to worry about a little bit if you are a Froyo fan.
Yeah, but something I do have to say is Froyo's mids are just absolutely stellar still. They kind of just jump everywhere. They got those high bombs going in, and we also are getting yelled at by production to try to find the logs, so I will be doing that.
Yeah, while we find the logs, yeah, just froyotech, the soldiers, I think Patty and Laz had some really high impact plays, but we do have the logs up now. And as we can see, Psy Guy doing a lot of damage, 285 top in the server. As it seems like Gungan as well also had a really great game, 26 and 15.
Yeah, that is definitely phenomenal there. The damage Close. That was really close in terms of the damage. Both teams, if you just look at the total frags and total damage, it's basically identical. So you can't take too much away just from that stat. These scouts, both the combo scouts, did such an amazing job on both of these teams. Actually, it was the flank scout for Froyo, though, who top fragged for Froyo. Brand Slam 26 and 15. I didn't realize he outfragged even Banny. So that is something to definitely catch our eyes.
Yeah, no, definitely something to catch our eyes, but just kind of looking at it, froyotech, they had more mid-fights won, and it's just so hard to try and come back into the game if you're not winning mid-fights, unfortunately for QMD, though they did put up a really, really great fight. And like you said, a lot of even stats across the board, so, you know, not too much to be upset about for QMD, but I don't know, do we have any special analysis?
Special analysis. The only, very shortly, I would say, a huge fan of Froyo mids. They've been doing different mids. I don't think other teams have the same kind of toolkit for just throwing out the crazy mids no one's seen before.
Yeah, no, that's definitely true. And one other thing I'll add is that Gullywash, I think froyotech have scrimmed Witness Gaming Australia and Witness Gaming Europe on this map, and both times they lost pretty badly to them. Of course, scrims are just scrims. Take them with a pinch of salt, but you know, maybe this is good for froyotech. It shows that they're able to adapt on the map and they're starting to get a little bit of confidence. So maybe some types of silver linings for froyotech. But if you're thinking, wait, was that it? No, that's not it. We got a lot more TF2 action headed your way. This is only the first day of 3. And that's right, we got playoffs starting tomorrow. We're going to finish off the group stages later today. And then we've got grand finals and semifinals on Sunday. And we're going to continue this Physgun Denver Fireside 2025 International LAN Extravaganza after a short break. I've been TC Mano, joined by the amazing Delta Market. And we'll see you in just a little bit.